Okay, today we are learning halacha number 2. Okay, in today's halacha, we are going to learn about what is a beracha aharona when eating half a kazayit of fruit from outside of Eretz Israel and half of a kazayit of fruit from Eretz Israel. So I actually took a scale to actually measure. A kazayit is about 30 grams. So I took dates, regular dates. They're not big and they're not medjool. And 5 dates are about 33 grams. So that's already 5 would constitute already more than a kazayit. Or I also took an average apple and I cut it into quarters, and I took 1/4 and I cut it into half, and that is 30 grams. So now let's look at what the halacha is telling us. The fruit from Eretz Israel, the Eretz Israel has been praised for the grapes, the olives, the figs, the dates, and the pomegranates, right? So before we eat any of these fruit, is borei peri ha'etz, and after eating one of these fruits or all of them or any two of them, whatever. So the beracha aharona, the last beracha, would be al ha'etz val peri ha'etz. But what if for example, I ate about half a kazayit of grapes and half a kazayit of dates, right? And but I didn't eat enough of the dates, of a kazayit of a date, and I did not eat enough of a kazayit of grapes, right? But obviously the bracha has got to be ha'etz, val peri ha'etz. Now, if I eat other fruits such as an apple, let's say I eat half an apple or a whole apple, or orange or pear or a banana, strawberries, right? Just regular fruit that are not from Eretz Yisrael, right? So the beracha aharona, the last beracha, would be borei nefashot. And again, it doesn't have to be that I ate an entire apple. Even if I ate less than a kazayit of the apple, and less of a kazayit of an orange, and less of a kazayit of the strawberries, but together they make up a kazayit, so it's borei nefashot. The question becomes a little more difficult when someone eats fruit from Eretz Israel and also other fruit, right? So if all the fruit, let's say I ate dates and an orange, together they make a kazayit. But what beracha aharona should I say? Can I say al ha'etz as a beracha aharona? Or can I say borei nefashot, right? So which one should be said? So Chacham Ovadia Yosef, alav hashalom, so he ruled that in such a case, we cannot say a beracha aharona. So I ate, let's say, 2 dates, that's not a kazayit, and I ate less than half of a quarter of an orange. That's not a kazayit. In this case, I don't say beracha aharona at all. Okay? So if one has taken a kazayit, a fruit from Eretz Israel, as we said, like this is like the summary now, grapes, olives, dates, pomegranate, and figs. So one has to say beracha al ha'etz, val peri ha'etz. And if one ate a kazayit of other fruit, then the beracha is borei fashot. If one ate half a kazayit of a fruit from Eretz Israel and half of a kazayit from other fruit, so we do not say a beracha aharona. Now we come to what if I'm sitting down to eat some soup and a vegetable soup, and I put the vegetable through the food processor so that it's really just, I don't really see pieces of vegetables, right? So it's really liquid. It's thick, but it's liquid. So the beracha is shehakol, okay? But if the soup has pieces of vegetables, so I have to say borei peri adama on the vegetables and shehakol for over the liquids. So if I pick a spoonful of vegetable and soup, but there's more vegetable than there's liquid, so I have got to say hadama. So then I have got to say borei peri adama. But if there is more liquid than there is vegetables, then I have got to say shehakol. So again, I repeat. If there are the vegetables are diced, and when I pick up with my spoon, I pick up vegetables and liquid, and there is more vegetables than there's liquid, then I have to say adama over the liquid, over the vegetable. Sorry. But if there is more liquid than there is vegetables, then I have to say shehakol. I hope this came out clear, because it did sound a little bit more complicated. If it is not clear, please leave me a message, and I will clarify even more if necessary. Okay, now what about if I have pieces of bread in my soup, but I did not wash for hamotzi, but I have pieces of bread in my soup. So I actually weighed the bread. How much is a kazayit of bread? So a kazayit of bread would be really 3/4 of a slice of bread, but that's a large loaf. Okay, so when someone has bread in the soup, so if the pieces are big, in that case I have to say hamotzi over the soup before eating my soup. I mean, when I eat my soup, since the pieces of bread are large, so it's hamotzi, and I have to say birkat hamazon. I do not say hamotzi only in the next two cases. Case number one is each piece of bread is less than the kazayit. Each piece means they're small. In that case, it's okay. I do not have to say hamotzi, and I do not have to say birkat hamazon. Number two, second condition is that the bread has been placed into the hot soup in the original pot. It means that in my pot, when I was cooking, I put pieces of bread. So in that case, I do not make hamotzi on the pieces of bread. So in that case, I have got to say mezonot if the bread was cooked in the pot with the soup, or that the pieces are small, so I say mezonot. and I have got to say ala michya over at the end. And it doesn't matter how many pieces of those small pieces of bread I had, or if the bread had cooked in the pot. It doesn't matter how many pieces I ate. It's mezonot and al amichya. Then to finish off lesson number 2, now we come to the question when there is rice or couscous and vegetables. So normally over rice and couscous we say borei mini mezonot, and over vegetables is borei peri hadama. So if I have like a couscous and I have lots of, it's almost like a couscous salad, vegetables with it, right? So and the vegetables are cut into small pieces. So in that case, all I have to do is just mezonot, because the couscous or the rice is the majority of what's on my plate. But if the couscous is served by itself, and then there's big pieces of vegetable that I put onto my plate, then I have to say mezonot on the rice or the couscous, and then adama over the vegetables.